Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. It's really great to be with you today. Despite the little bit of chill in the air, it's always great to be back in Wisconsin. So thank you so much for the opportunity. We want to help the state think about pro-growth reform and relief, and specifically finding ways to generate the revenue that you deem is necessary, but to make sure you're doing it in a way that minimizes economic harm and minimizes the burden on taxpayers. Starting by looking at individual income taxes specifically, our first major reform recommendation is to prioritize reductions to the top marginal rate. And again, 28 states have reduced their income tax rates in the past 4 years alone, some of those multiple times. But Wisconsin is on that list, but Wisconsin is one of only 4 states that did not include reductions to its top marginal rate as part of those reforms. There are a lot of benefits to reducing the top marginal rate, and we think it would be a good idea for Wisconsin, not just because it would make the state look better on paper, and not just because other states are doing it, or because Wisconsin has the revenue to do it, but because it would yield a lot of economic benefits to the state. When you look at high top marginal rates, they have been shown to reduce returns to labor and investment on the margin, and that has been shown to lead to fewer hours worked and lower workforce participation rates. And it's especially important to keep in mind that the top marginal rate affects the vast majority of Wisconsin's pass-through businesses. 95% of Wisconsin's businesses are pass-throughs, so partnerships, LLCs, S corporations that are paying their taxes under the individual rather than the corporate income tax code. And when you look at all of the income of Wisconsin's pass-through businesses and compare how much is taxed at the lower marginal rates versus the top marginal rate, approximately 2/3 of Wisconsin's pass-through business income is taxed at that top marginal rate. And so that's very high, and you can see who this rate is really affecting, and it's the entrepreneurs and the business owners in the state. That means that these business owners have less money to reinvest in their businesses. That results in less hiring, less capital investment, and less economic output. And this high top marginal rate also puts in-state businesses at a competitive disadvantage compared to their competitors in states where the top marginal rate is lower. In addition to reducing the top marginal rate, Wisconsin would also do well to consider moving to a single rate or flat tax structure, as other states have done recently. This would both promote economic growth as well as make the tax structure simpler, more neutral, and more transparent. And it would also generate a stabler source of revenue. It's been well established in economic literature that single rate income taxes are less harmful to state economic growth than graduated rate structures, because graduated rate structures penalize important economic growth-inducing activities like labor and investment on the margin. One of the things I also want to mention too when it comes to considering moving to a single rate tax structure is that 6 other states have done this in the past 2 years alone. So we've really seen a bit of a flat tax revolution just in the past couple of years, with Arizona, Mississippi, Idaho, Georgia, Iowa, and Louisiana all moving to single rate tax structures. So now there are 14 states that have single rate structures and 9 additional states that do not levy an individual income tax on wage or salary income at all. So that's 23 states, or about half the country, that either does not levy an income tax at all on wage or salary income, or that has a single rate, relatively competitive tax structure.